Good news, everyone! Here's a video that'll help apply the STAR principles learned in the STAR video to our market indexes report in the RevSIM. If you have not done so already, please make sure that you watch the STAR overview video located in Moodle under the Videos tab called STAR. We will cover three objectives. The first, to highlight key terms found in STAR. The second, to compare two hotels' market indexes and their strategies. And third, to identify revenue opportunities from the results. So let's get started. When looking at your STAR report, also called market indexes in the RevSIM, there are three important metrics to understand. The first being MPI. MPI stands for Market Penetration Index. This is a reflection of your hotel's ability to capture demand in the market. It is a representation of your occupancy levels compared to your competitors. ARI stands for Average Rate Index. This is a reflection of your hotel's ability to get rate in the market. How much rate were you able to capture compared to your competitors? Recall from the price-value relationship video that ADR is comprised of all the room's revenue divided by the total rooms sold. A low ADR is not necessarily reflective of a low rate strategy, but rather a mix of low-rated business. RGI, Revenue Generated Index. This measures a hotel's fair market share of revenue per available room. Remember that RevPAR is a combination of your ADR and your occupancy. So what do these indexes mean? Well, when you're performing at 100%, it means you're performing at market level. You are getting your fair share. Less than 100% means that you're underperforming against the market, whether that's underperforming in rate, occupancy, or overall RGI. And if your property attains a number greater than 100% in any metric, it just means that you're overperforming against the market in that specific metric, whether you're overperforming in occupancy, rate, or overall RGI. Again, please remember that the goal is to reach more than 100% revenue generated index. So how do you achieve 100% or greater than 100% RGI? Well, there are two ways of getting there, whether it's through driving occupancy or through driving rate. Let's take a look at two competing hotels and the strategies they've implemented and its impact on the STAR results. We'll be taking a look at the market indexes for the Hotel Aura, as well as the market indexes for the Smith Hotel. Let's see what the results hold. What is the first thing revenue managers look at on the STAR report? Yes, that is correct, if you said RGI. We want to know if we made our fair share in revenue per available room in the market. From these results, we can see that the Hotel Aura was close to getting their fair share, running 12 months at 99.7 RGI. Let's take a look at the recent trend. The running 3-month show that Hotel Aura has improved their position in the marketplace by achieving a 115.8 RGI in the last quarter. That is 15.8 points more than their fair share in the market. Therefore, this most recent quarter, July, August, September, saw an improvement of 16.1 points in RGI. How exactly did Hotel Aura achieve this? Let's take a closer look. How is Hotel Aura getting their fair share? In occupancy, of course. MPI in the last quarter ran 128.5. That is 28.5 points more than their fair share in the market. From an RGI perspective, this heads in bed strategy worked, finishing at 115.0 RGI index for the last quarter. The sacrifice was undercutting the market in rate by $23. As you can see, the food and beverage revenue index has had a positive impact as it results from the total demand coming to the hotel. My phone has been ringing off the hook about this hotel. The Smith Hotel are the rate market leaders. Their ADR running 12 months year to date is $230. This is $41 above the market. It appears this market is price elastic or price sensitive. How do I know this? Well, by looking at the Smith Hotel's ability to capture market penetration index. Currently, it is capturing less than its fair share in occupancy. The result is attaining less than 100 RGI index. From my experience as Maxi Dinero Revenue Extraordinaire, owners love driving rate. Why might that be? Well, it is better on their building. There's less wear and tear. And as well, ADR has better flow through. About 90% of incremental rate growth flows to the bottom line. Can you think of other benefits? As shown by the results, a strategy solely focused on driving rate can impact a property's ability to attain their fair share in occupancy. This is especially true in an elastic or a market that has a high price sensitivity. Customers will feel the prices are too high. Conversely, a strategy solely focused in occupancy may be detrimental to a property's ability to have a positive gross operating profit. The flow-through of the property will be less than desirable while still running high occupancies. So how do you know when is the best time to implement a heads and beds versus a driving rate strategy? Let's review one of my favorite reports. This report can be found under Trends, Market Indexes. Here we have the Smith Hotel performance for Occupancy Index, Average Rate Index, and RevPAR Index. As we indicated earlier, these are more commonly referred to as MPI, ARI, and RGI respectively. As we identified in the previous STR report, the Smith Hotel was not getting their fair share in RGI year 1, quarter 3 as a result of pushing too much rate. We can clearly see that the average rate index is well above the baseline, occupancy is well below, as a result, and overall RGI below their fair share. As we look across this report, we can see a shift in pricing strategy. The final quarter of year 1, the Smith was priced more market appropriately, hovering just below the baseline, with an improvement in occupancy which resulted in a positive RGI index. It appears that the property continued to price test the market by lowering their rate and continuing to capture well above their fair share in occupancy while still growing their revenue generating index. May of year 2, they reached a high market penetration index of 117.90, an average rate index of 89.6, and an overall RGI index of 106.77. Let's compare that specific month's performance to March of year 2. The property was able to attain an MPI of 114.44 and ARI of 94.32, which translated to an RGI index of 106.78. As we can see, the RGI improved very slightly by 0.01 at 106.78 in the month of March year 2. So how do you know when it's time to start refocusing your strategy on rate once again and not leaving money on the table? Well, let's move on to the next slide and learn about balance index. A balance index is the difference between ARI and MPI in absolute value. Absolute value is the difference between the two metrics without giving any regard to whether it is plus or minus. Essentially, it is the distance the number is from zero. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say a property has attained an ARI of 85 and an MPI of 128. The difference between the two metrics in absolute terms is 43. Where should the revenue team start focusing their efforts on? Yes, that is correct, on driving rate. This property is presently capturing 20 percentage points more than their fair share in occupancy in the market. There is certainly an opportunity to start increasing rate. Some ways this can be accomplished is by compressing your discounts, increasing rate across multiple market segments, or adjusting your market mix. So, how do you know if you're achieving a balanced market performance? Well, follow me to the next slide and I'll give you some industry insight. Industry experts such as Matt Lusk, senior consultant with Buckheister Consulting and VCC graduate, strive to attain no more than 15 points between average rate index and market penetration index. 10 to 15 points between the two metrics is the industry norm. This is one way to identify opportunities for revenue generation. Does your property have a balanced index? What strategies can you implement to improve revenue and market performance for your property? Thanks for joining me in the journey for balance. This is Maxie Dinero signing out. Until next time, friends.